When Hu Hua was awaking the ark from deep in her memory, someone else was quietly taking in everything that had happened in the dark. In Hasbro's ruins, he gazed into the distance and wore a thin smile. In simple terms, I returned to the prison on my fourth day of release in order to satiate my insatiable curiosity. It was a cramped square that could only hold one person and wasn't suitable for staying long term. Inside, the bitter cold seeped into my very skin, numbing my flesh and freezing my nerves. It was clearly some kind of protective measure akin to refrigeration. I could even sense a modicum of pleasure in between the pain it brought me. Just like that, I curled up like an animal in hibernation, waiting for a gaze that could melt the ice. As the most peculiar prisoner there, I deserved such attention. But then, I continued to question, did this visitor really know me? Was my timely awakening merely a farce? Compared to collectors or aliens, detectives are better suited to deal with me, right? Fu Hua, what's wrong? Do you know the man in the showcase? Yes. You can consider him my enemy. A nostalgic voice, as if the command was given yesterday. Fu Hua. Fu Hua. He was a wise man, or rather, a cunning criminal. For him, crime was not a fault, but a praiseworthy art. Speaking of art, perhaps I should open my eyes to greet you passionately, and then say with a smile, "My dear great detective, it's been a while." How could there be such a person? Is he traumatized? Would a wise man also do such a stupid thing? Is this the honesty of a child? As onlookers, it was only natural that Orange and Sign would think that way. The young boy spoke and interrupted the happy memories of reunion with old friends. Well, from my standpoint, you're just as dangerous as Fu Hua, from your departure to her arrival. Do I need to tell you about all the anomalies that have occurred again? But you chose to stand by my side. Mindful Vita, I understand your concerns. The smartest one thought he had made a wise decision, but it was only when he got involved and discovered the stupidity hidden underneath that he fled in panic. Even if you don't care about it, it still affects the relationship between the seven of you, and this is what truly matters to you. Good point. It's unbelievable that we've only known each other for 4 days. Blue, we've only known him for 2 days. We just met him yesterday, didn't we? Yes, but his observation of everyone started from the moment he escaped from the museum. I knew it. You realized it ages ago. But I'm truly intrigued why you, the city guardian, would be interested in an ordinary man like me. I have an equal interest in everything I see. You just happen to be part of that everything. We really are well suited. Blue, what do we do next? We changed nothing. The outsider named Fu Hua, unlike the one besides us, her danger side lies in the place she isn't aware of herself. Yeah, she's the most suitable truth seeker. Suitable doesn't necessarily mean appropriate. You're always brutally frank. However, curiosity and thirst for knowledge are basic human nature. But people like us who can prove their nature to a point of self-awareness are extremely rare and are bound to stand out among others. When you and I are busy seeking the truth, the majority of people have only eyes on food, clothing, safety, and love. They try their best, but always end up being the same insignificant members of society. Is that something to be proud of? Or do you no longer need to eat or hide in your secret base now? You have a point. We can never live without our cravings. Then consider it some kind of nonsense I made up to find similarities between you and me. You really are odd. A lot of people have said it about me too. But for you, my willing assistants, I definitely hold no reservations, although I may have chosen a rather dumb approach. Dumb, why? Like what you said yesterday, although it will take a while to prove, I still want to trust you. Because people said the same thing. Is this a little secret between you and her? Far from it. We decided to tell everyone from the beginning, but the perfect opportunity never arose. So I'm just riding on someone else's success. Well, thank you for putting your trust in me, voracious Vita. I thought I could only earn your trust by putting myself on the dissecting table. What are you talking about? I never do such a thing. Now that you know her better, don't say things that could be misunderstood. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. No worries, it's fine. But you need to promise me that those monsters today aren't you doing. Okay, I promise you that those monsters were not my doing. I'm also quite curious about where they came from. But curiosity aside, I still need to consider my safety for the time being, just as you said before. Apart from the great detective who can smash stone pillars, no one would dare to fight those scary monsters. But on the other hand, you don't need to worry about your companions with her around. Not to mention that, the repertoire has just started. How should she put her current mood into words? After an eternity of silence, she still couldn't find the answer. Perhaps she felt some premonition when she saw that strangely familiar and huge building that was referred to as the Forbidden Ground. Perhaps when she'd first set eyes on the bridge with the fracture right below it, she should have anticipated this sigh would escape her own throat at some point. Anyways, the miracle holding all the hope, the arc representing the resolution of the young girl, the spacecraft that lost contact with Earth 1500 years ago, is trapped in some ruins in the end. Cold as steel. Miss Fu, what's wrong?
你怎么了？
I recognize this pattern, orange.
我认得这个图案。
The fact is here means this bridge was actually a part of the spaceship my friend designed and created.
并制造的飞船的一部分。
Spaceship.
飞船。
What does that word mean, Miss Fu?
这个词是什么意思？
At the sight of the question swimming in Orange's eyes, Fu Hua confirmed her initial theory again. Despite the presence of convenient urban surveillance equipment, small robots that assist in city management, and recording camera, the technological level here was far from the space age. Otherwise, Blue, the smartest Vita, wouldn't have said something like, "I still have a lot to learn about the structure of this place." Just like its name suggests, a spaceship is a giant ship that can soar high above the sky. And the bridge in front of you was a room of that giant ship. In my hometown, we called it a cabin. Oh, that's a bit complicated. As far as you can remember, when did the strangely shaped bridge appear? Okay. We just stumbled across it when we were leading everyone past the fracture after the cataclysm. Before that, no one had seen a building like this. That's why we held a discussion about its origin after we built our new home. Red thought the bridge had long been underground and only emerged after the ground cracked, like a seed breaking through the soil. But Purple suggests an alternative view. She reckons the bridge fell from the sky just like fruit fall from the tree. Purple's view seemed to be closer to the truth than Miss Fu just mentioned. Yes, judging from the damage done by the cabin, the spaceship must have taken an incredible impact, but the spaceship itself should also be nearby, since a part of it is right here. Perhaps it's in the place you call the Forbidden Area. The warm atmosphere was completely shattered by those two words which carried a sense of foreboding. It was at this moment that Cyan realized one of the reasons why Fu Hua always furrowed her brow in thought. Did you long suspect that but didn't say anything because of who we are, Miss Fu? I guess you could say that. I'm still an outsider to you. I figure when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That means I have to play by your rules. But now that my suspicion has been proven, it would be rather impolite to keep hiding it. Despite the less than optimistic situation, she still carried a glimmer of hope as she gazed over the two young city representatives. Orange, Cyan, have you ever seen a girl called Gricio? She's a bit older than you. Yeah, and about as tall as me with beautiful, long, light cyan hair. She gestured with her hand, searching hard in her mind for any or other information about Gricio. After about 1,000 years, all the memories, happy or sad, seemed to be shrouded in a layer of mist. Oh yeah, she was very good at painting and always had a brush, a drawing board, and paints with her. When she got in the mood, all the floors and walls, even her own body, would be dotted with paint. Long ago, she was driving this very ship as she started her journey. If you've seen her, no, even if you've just heard about someone who fits my description, please let me know. Who is this Gricio to you, Miss Fu? She was a friend I cherish very much, and also one of my few peers. After pondering hard and long, the two representatives shook their heads and looked toward Fu Hua with a tinge of embarrassment. I'm sorry, Miss Fu. We've neither seen her in Enlightenment nor heard about her. Cyan, how about you? Me neither. But although no one's ever seen Gricio in enlightenment, we can say the same about Evernight. People rarely come here, so maybe Miss Gricio started living nearby after leaving the spaceship. Yeah, science right. If we're lucky, we may find some clues about Miss Gracio's whereabouts when searching for Rat. Fu Hua stood dumbfounded for a second, before warmth slowly caressed her heart like a gentle breeze. Even though those two couldn't offer any actual clues, they were still trying their best to console her. Signed, Orange. Thank you for helping me.
谢谢你们愿意帮忙。
You're always welcome, Miss Fu. That's what we should do. Help each other. Had it been other Vitas, they would have done the same thing. That's what family is for. Alright then, I'm counting on you now. Gricio, I hope you really are fine. Fu Hua, there's something here. Fu Hua took the object in Science's hand and dusted it off gently. Then the three stared at the transparent hemisphere that was slightly broken on the surface, but perfectly intact inside. This looks like a micro-city inside a crystal ball. There seems to be a spring. Let's twist it and see what happens. The moment Fu Hua let go, mellow music came out of the crystal ball, while the micro-city inside began to move. Thanks to Blue's creativity and Purple's skillful hands, Cyan had seen many intricately designed music boxes, but he had never heard a melody so filled with deep emotion. It came from the distant past, tender like a dream, hazy like the rain. Every sound was filled with deep emotion, and every note was mesmerizing. The ripple of sentiment it sent passing through their bodies was heartbreakingly beautiful. But perhaps it was a malfunction of some component inside the crystal ball, but the micro-city only operated for a while before suddenly disappearing with its street lights going out and leaving nothing but darkness. Despite Fu Hua's relentless effort to restart it, the unfinished music refused to play again. What a shame. Her mind was haunted by thousands of thoughts and emotions. Fu Hua did her best not to reminisce about all her past feelings. Was it just a coincidence? As mellow as fine wine, as sparkly as gold, and able to keep the original tune even after an eternity. But it ended abruptly. Cyan, let's put it aside for now. When we find Blue, we can ask him and Purple to fix it. I remember the time when Cyan's camera was accidentally knocked into the ground at the celebration banquet. The lens and case were badly broken, but they managed to repair it in a week. It'll only take 2 days at most to fix this little crystal ball, I guess. Then I should thank them in advance.
我就提前谢谢他们好了。
Alright. Miss Fu, do you know who wrote that piece of music?
你是不是认识写这首曲子的人？
I did. She and Gricio, as well as the one who made both the crystal ball and the spaceship, were my friends. My very first friends.
最初的朋友。
So this ball was actually thrown from the cabin when it was falling and ended up here.
被甩到了这里。多半如此。
That's very likely. Then maybe Miss Gricio also. Cyan. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's fine. Humans are a lot tougher than a crystal ball. Besides, Gricio was. She's special. I believe in her. If this crystal ball also belongs to Miss Gricio, we might be able to find something else nearby. Let's start searching. Okay. Nothing special here. Fu Hua picked the book up off the ground. The cover had vanished, and the pages were all stuck together, with the writing long since reduced to blurred inky patches. Even blue and purple could do nothing about it, judging from its damage. It's okay, maybe we can still find some information in it. With that said, she carefully separated the pages that were stuck together. After a long while, she eventually stumbled across a paragraph that was still legible. Nameless Island Survival Records. What a sad story. This book's owner may not be who you thought it was, Cyan. Yeah? Here there are some annotations at the end of this page. Following Orange's fingers, Cyan saw 2 sentences. The shellfish swam into the forest, while the butterflies flew into the oceans. In the very end, they all found a new home for themselves. That makes the whole story sound more like a fairy tale. Miss Fu, was this also Gracio's book? This book must have belonged to another scientist friend of mine. My guess is she was just teasing Gricio by giving her this book. But Gricio took it to heart and read it cover to cover. Oh, I see. But maybe the whole reason she thought of giving her this book was because it was Gricio. If you've got questions about infinity, why not ask a child of infinite possibilities? Speaking of infinity, I've never thought about this before. How come the Vitas and I can understand each other's languages? Who on earth are they? Fu Hua, Honkai beats again. Find a place to hide and leave it to me. Cyan, follow me this way.